What's up, everybody? We come in peace. Welcome to another episode of the Thought Process Podcast.
I'm here together with my good co-host, Mr. Greg. How's it
Hello,
going?
guys. Doing well.
What was that Velociraptor you put up there?
It's just a little dinosaur.
Tyrannosaurus Rex.
Yeah, closest thing to an
So-
alien I got.
That's a good argument. For the people that don't know, today we're talking about aliens and the new UFO sightings that we have seen throughout the media. Greg, what are your thoughts on this? I know that back in January, the government had slipped a little tiny bill into a tiny law that would actually make, would you say all of the government or some departments of the government?
I don't know what it says, but
So basically, they were given 6 months to disclose all of what they know in regards to UFOs, and now what they're calling them is what do they call it?
UAF.
UAFs. Yeah.
So that they're not saying it's aliens, but they're saying they don't know whatever it is. They don't know
Yeah.
what it
So
is.
it's an unidentified aerial phenomena
Yeah.
or flying object.
No. Phenomena.
I think
Because
you spell
they're-
phenomena with a PH.
No, because then it would be FO, UAFO. Because you would
Who
need
knows?
object in there.
Anyway, so there's been quite a few stories on the media lately. Which one do you want to start with, man? I mean, this rabbit hole is definitely going to lead us to everywhere.
Well, you are correct. Phenomena is spelled with a P.
Right?
Yeah. So
I'm thinking it was like a U for
here, I'll get it right now.
unidentified flying
UAF. What does it mean?
aerial flying or what? Something like that.
Unidentified. Oh, it's giving me like thousands of different meanings for the acronym UAF. User authorization file, unable to forward. Like, I'm never gonna find it in there. Utah. What? It's sending me to the Utah AIDS Foundation. Oh my goodness. Oh man, unified architecture framework. How is this not so easy to do?
While you find that, the reason why this is actually the reason why I'm wearing this fancy NASA T-shirt. We have to be in if we are to be visited in the next couple of weeks. I have my compadre, Mr. Steve. You guys have known him from past episodes. If you haven't, check him out. You'll see him out there in the background when we first started, right, Greg?
Yes.
So UFOs. I've grown up with them. We've watched plenty of movies with them. In fact, Greg, the past few weeks, or actually I would say the past week, I've been watching and rewatching all of the Alien movies. Now, the Alien movies were very popular back in the 80s and the 90s, 2000s, and then recently 2017 and 2019, or was it 2014 when Prometheus came out? Must have been 2014. So it was Prometheus, Alien Covenant, the second one in the timeline, Alien 2, Alien 3, Alien Resurrection. Then it was, what was the one with Terminator? Predator 2, Alien versus Predator. So and then
wait,
Alien
are you just saying Alien movies?
Yeah, this is the
Dude, you're forgetting the best one ever created.
Which one?
Independence Day.
No. This is just the Alien franchise.
Oh well,
So-
Predator doesn't have anything to do with Alien.
Yes, it does, sir.
I mean, indirectly because they made a movie about it, but
No, they were hunting those aliens. That's why they were out. You
Oh,
don't,
really?
you know, you don't.
I didn't
You
really
don't
remember
yeah,
it.
he was that alien hunter. That's why they were marked themselves with the acid.
Huh.
Um. Anyway, so I've just been on this giant rabbit hole of movies, right? And did you watch Prometheus?
No, I never watched that. I didn't hear it was that good, so I didn't watch it.
Oh my gosh, man! I don't know if I want to spoil it now, but okay. Essentially, we are looking for our creators, right?
Okay.
So we are sent out, or a particular crew is sent out to the outer parts of the uni- galaxy or universe or whatever to find the engineers. Now, in the more common term would be, would be like the Nephilims. Have you heard of the Nephilims, Greg?
Yeah.
Yeah. So the Nephilims are supposed to be these engineers. The Nephilims, if you're not familiar with them, they were giant people that used to roam the earth. We've uncovered bones. We've uncovered like burial sites, and there's pictures everywhere, and there's tales and markings and hieroglyphs, all pointing to these enormous people that used to quote unquote reign the earth. Now, a lot of people say they were fallen angels, but with the all of the information that has been coming out in the past couple of decades, I guess, I think it would point more towards the alien phenomena, the seed bearers who came from another planet, planted the seed from out of nowhere. We have apes, and then now we have humans. It's a half animal, half alien hybrid. That's the story. I don't know if there's anything to back it up, but in today's age, with the science fiction and everything, thinking outside of the box, it seems plausible. I don't know if I'm a fan of that theory, but it definitely seems plausible.
Okay. As you were talking, I started thinking of other types of things that could have been aliens,
Like what?
and I guess anything is possible. I was thinking about Bigfoot, Sasquatch. So,
Like all these myths and
well, yeah,
mythology stories.
but think about this, right? Like to travel space, we somehow need to be able to stay alive for a long time, and we'd probably be very sedentary, so we'd probably be pretty bored. So imagine if you went to sleep for like 50 years and you woke up and you didn't shave or anything. You come out looking like Sasquatch, and you land, and you've been so antisocial for so long, you don't know how to talk to people. So you develop like anxiety disorders. So you freaking run into the woods, this hairy being, just like, I need to get away.
I like it just because it's fun. But if they were alien, they because see, Sasquatch is too human-like. I don't think aliens, if they are aliens, are going to look like us. They're supposed to be something radically different than us. And we're supposed to only be possible because we are alive here on Mother Earth, where they might have, you know, I mean, the possibilities are endless, right? It's their ecosystem, their environment, what shaped them. Are they intelligent? Maybe they're just plants, or it's a sort of plant. I think that's the most uncommon type of aliens that people don't talk about. Everybody wants to see a little green man or the Greys like Steve here. Those are the more like renowned stories here
Mhm.
in well amongst everybody. And I think that they're radically something different. I think there's something different, something that we can't even imagine. That when we see them, it would be something that would I don't know. It could break our brain. Like I don't know. I don't know how hard it would hit in our
Well,
psyche.
I don't think that would happen. I think it would be like just like every time a new ocean creature washes up, you look at it and you're just like, what in the hell is that?
Yeah, but let's say that it's your first day on the beach, right?
Hmm.
You've never been to the beach. You don't. Or let's say that you lived in an island with no information. No, you knew people were around. You
Hmm.
know, you have no access to the internet, so you're limited to the information pool, right?
Yeah.
And then you decide to go to the ocean, and you jump in the ocean, and then next thing you know, a tiger shark bites you. You're gonna be traumatized. You're not gonna know how to come back and explain what you saw to people. Like imagine that. Like that's how radical I think aliens will be. It's not. They're not gonna look like us. They're not gonna seem human. They're gonna be different, much different, too
Sure.
different for us to be comfortable with. I think. You know,
I,
there
I don't know about that.
there's a part in the second movie, Alien Covenant,
Hmm.
where all life in so they get like the distress signal. They go check it out. You know, they're out looking on a mission. They get a distress signal. They go find the ghost. They get to the planet, and all life is dead because of a metallic alien virus. Okay. Well, the metallic virus, it's alive and it comes out in spores, but it's metallic. And the only reason why the aliens look like the aliens that we know them as is because they started basically they you know, I don't want to spoil the whole plot, but the alien spores made contact with humans, creating a hybrid that was aggressive, and you get the alien, right? So that alien didn't look like a human. It was radically different. It could do different
Hmm.
things. It's its blood is actually acidic, so any acid you would get on yourself would start melting. It can melt metal, and I think that that's more realistic in a sense, as opposed to finding a Sasquatch like half ape, half Nephilim, if you will, in the forest who's has antisocial and like anxiety disorders. So,
Maybe that's why all that stuff's in the news about mental health. They're trying to get us ready to be able to communicate with aliens instead of trying to heal our mental state.
I mean, imagine, Greg, if imagine. Okay, let's cut the bullshit for a minute.
Uh-huh.
Imagine they say, I mean, right now these new UFO sightings that we've seen,
Yeah.
um, the government now is accepting it. Like, oh yeah, this is actually in a UAF, and it's real. And our Navy ships took the video. They're acknowledging that it's real, right? Whether it's they know what it is or they don't, they are acknowledging that this is something real and it's starting to become a threat in their eyes. So what happens? What happens if the next thing you know, there's a spacecraft lands in DC and it's live on video, and a little gray man, just like Steve, comes out of the UFO or the craft, and then I mean, what would happen? Like people would go ape shit. What would
There
happen
was
to religion? Right? What would happen to everything? I mean,
I
would
mean,
it change?
there's nothing in religion that doesn't say that there's other beings.
Well, aren't angels other beings?
No, because I
Aren't
mean, when we talk about dinosaurs, people don't believe necessarily certain things about dinosaurs. Like they don't believe the world's 2 million years old, but they can recognize that dinosaurs could be real, just the explanation of them is not. Like those things don't really matter.
What do you mean?
Like it wouldn't matter if
Elaborate,
there's
because it's a
aliens.
very
So,
okay.
so
So
if there was aliens, it doesn't change any religious view. It's like
you
saying
sure?
that that's like saying if Russia has some way of living on Mars, that it should change my view on the Bible. That I mean that doesn't
No,
it
no, it's
doesn't
because you're
change anything.
conflating two different things. If an alien comes out, and let's say that they're the engineers, and they say, "Yes, we were here. We mute, with engineering your DNA with a hybrid of us and a monkey. This is how you became who you are." If they said something like that, you don't think people would flip?
Um,
Because everything we've learned, whether it's been
and
Catholicism, Christianity, um, and all the other, the great variety of religious beliefs, don't you think that they would kind of put everything upside its head? Because we were taught
uh,
something different?
sure, but I could guarantee you most people wouldn't believe it. You know what I
Because they're
mean?
too tied to their beliefs?
Uh,
Or
yeah. Well, one that, and two, you're just gonna believe something that flies down here and says, "Hey, this is what we did,"
what if
and
they
we're
show
back.
you proof?
I mean, CNN shows you proof.
Okay. Yeah,
So
but everything's like that, Greg. It's not just everybody. Everybody. I mean, CNN. They're not even worth talking about because at the end of the day, they're just a company trying to make money.
well, that's the
When
point on the
you
other
when
side.
you
You don't know
really
who these aliens
dilute it,
are, and you don't know the intent behind it. They could easily make something up that is just
yes,
I
but
could guarantee
also,
you like
Greg, hang on.
20% of the things that you know about in your life that you hold to as true is not true. And I would say that about everyone who lives.
Okay, but let's say on the same coin, scientists conclude that there's no meddling in the information, but actually it is true.
Oh
Would
yeah,
people,
scientists, they all agree all the time.
well, they sometimes they agree to disagree, but most of the time I think the consensus of the science shows you that certain facts are indeed facts. Like there's no gravity
Sure.
deniers, right? So when it comes to something like that, would you say that that if they were to come,
Hmm.
do you think that it would flip everything that we've learned so far on its head?
No, I don't think so.
No.
No, I mean, unless they had something that was obnoxiously aggressive to where it's like no one could doubt it.
I mean, what if they come out with like the gravity defying stuff, and they're like, oh, this is. I
So
mean,
have you
this is
seen?
all speculation, right? But we have to make a case for it because what's going to happen. I mean, today is June 2nd. Yesterday was a deadline to turn over all the paperwork and all the known information. I'm sure they're going to shy some of the information away from the congressman, but they're
Uh-huh.
turning it over to the Senate. Or what is it, the Senate or the
Well,
Congress? The
I
bill.
would
The bill
assume
was,
Congress,
yeah,
but
I think it's Congress.
apparently I did see this before we started. There was a big story should be coming out on Friday around
Okay.
7 a.m. Eastern time of the USS America enters the UAP arena in a new drop with eyewitness photographs. So there may be some new images and stuff, but I mean, if you can't explain it, what else is there to say? You know what I mean? It's
Yeah,
like here's the
what
pictures we took, here's the video, this is what we saw, this is what we heard. We don't know anything.
yeah,
Case over.
from what I've seen, there have been more UFO sightings in 2020 because more people have cell phone cameras that are just ridiculous that can zoom into the moon,
Yeah.
and
Like
they have
CSI.
time on their hands now.
It's like CSI. Zoom in, enhance, zoom in
Enhance,
again,
enhance,
enhance.
enhance. Deflect on that mirror. Like, oh, what's that reflection on the puddle? You know? Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know. I think that there's a case for it.
Have you
I'm
seen
very
the?
I'm still very skeptical of all of this, right? Because if it's fact, then I want to see the fact. I don't want to see, well, we saw this, but we don't know what it is. Like, okay, well, can't you guys shoot like a missile, like like intercontinental missiles? Like, how can you not? Aren't we looking at the outer parts of outer space, like with the Hubble telescope? Why don't we have something like that here? You know,
I
it's like,
mean,
and then there's also like a lot of phony stuff. However, there has been some movies, documentaries that I've seen that are very, very. I mean, you can tell that those people experienced something. I'm not gonna say it was aliens, but it was definitely something that spooked them.
sure, but think about this. Like, I just rewatched GI Joe, right?
Okay.
And in the movie, you have the main character and his brother-in-law. His brother-in-law is this like scientist in the military, and he goes into this lab, and the lab blows up, and his brother-in-law thought he died in the lab, but he didn't. And
Sure.
he becomes King, or what is his name, Cobra, the leader of the Cobras,
Okay.
and he discovered the nanotechnology and took it and created his own army that was better than the whole world.
Yeah.
So I realistically think that if they really don't know what it is, and it is a threat, but a lot of people are saying there's no such thing as aliens in the space industry. So like, where's this stuff coming from? So if people are looking for it in space and they're not finding it, then maybe it's just something like that. There's like a
Portal?
world military type force that has technology that we don't have yet. Because I mean, most technology is developed through war tech, like the internet. Yeah, the
Mhm.
internet was developed during war times, and so I wouldn't doubt it if someone has some kind of technology that they can't get to. They
Yeah.
don't know who has it, and now this person is a step ahead of everyone and is now able to take more and more information from everyone else.
Do you think that so you're thinking of like the UN having this type of
Well, no, let's just say it's some type of network. Say I somehow created some breakthrough technology, never told anyone, started using it. Let's just say there's absolutely no way someone can discover that I'm creating money, and I just become the richest guy on earth, and no one questions it because everything I do looks 100% legit, and there's no way for anyone to find out.
You mean Bitcoin?
Sure. Let's say Satoshi Nakamoto is freaking the is the dude who's creating all these UAPs.
Doge father?
Like,
Yeah.
I could
I don't
believe
know, man.
something a little bit like that's going on. I
So
mean, I
you're
wouldn't doubt
thinking
it.
more it's man-made, it's not alien-made. That's what you're thinking.
Oh, I'm only saying that that's a possibility. I mean, aliens are just as much of a possibility, in my opinion.
Okay.
But
Well,
either way, it doesn't matter.
why
to
don't we
me.
show some of the people, some of the clips that we put together for them? You know, let's see. You can do it, right, Greg?
Yeah, give me 1 second.
Yeah. So we have about three, maybe we'll find some more clips, but we have like three clips that. So this one here, this one is from where? This is the one from the coast from San Diego.
This is I don't know exactly where it is, but there was a guy flying, and There's a comms, the guy talking about it. He's like, "Oh, I spotted it," and he just kind of starts laughing.
Mm-hmm.
Like he's like,
Well,
"Oh,
he
I
says
found it."
I locked onto it, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
and
And
so
for the people listening to the podcast, it's a. Can you tell me which one this is? It's a video off of the ABC News
from
from
the
the U.S.
Navy,
Yeah, from the United States Navy. Where is that Commander Favor? Is that the one?
this is
That was
I don't
the
know.
one with Commander Favor.
There's no explanation. So
So basic, yeah, it looks like it is Commander Favor. I think. It's a black and white. The Navy. Do you know if this is from a plane, right? This is from a fighter jet.
from a jet, yeah.
Yeah. So there's a fighter jet who is able to lock on to an object moving at ridiculous speeds. I mean, look at it. It's having trouble just following it. And then
Mhm.
eventually the sensor picks it up and then he switches it to two different modes and shortly after it disappears. And do you think that it looks like a pill?
I mean, it's the
Or-
only thing you can really explain. Like,
It looks
it's a
like pill,
shape,
right?
but
the
I mean,
pill-
if you look at a jet from a far distance, it also looks like a pill. You know what I mean?
yeah.
So you can't really give any more of a description than that. It just looks like something going.
Now, so the one thing about this is that this is in the. I think this is the thermal sensor camera. I don't know I don't know how you say it, but they're using the temperature around the object to, the water is
Spot
cold,
it.
so that's why it's like gray black, right? And
Mhm.
so the object is white, which means that it's emitting a lot of heat. So this is actually a very very. This is a very interesting one.
And then,
And let's move on to the next one.
speaking of CNN, thank you, CNN, for this footage.
So the second one, it's another. What is this, Greg?
This is the triangle one.
It's another Navy pilot who, with it seems that it's like a. Okay, it says the Pentagon confirmed leaked video of a UAP. Oh, it is unidentified aerial phenomena, which was taken by a Navy personnel with night cam.
Yeah, I believe they were on a ship.
We go back a little bit to the other one, to the green one. A little more.
Yeah, just play it again.
It seems like it's like a potato chip flying across the skies.
Yeah, it's definitely triangle-ish.
The one thing, Greg, that I don't understand is why is it reflecting light or emitting light? Like if you're a UFO, if you can pause it here, if you're a UFO, why? If you don't want to be seen, why? I mean, all the movies, you've seen all of the people, how they recollect their traumatic experiences with being abducted. Say, oh, there was a light, and it was a light, and it was around a bunch of lights and a lot of lights, and I don't understand why they would have lights. Only airplanes have lights so that they don't crash into each other. Does that make sense? Like, why are we?
So what I was gonna say, I'm not completely sure, but I used a night vision scope one time when I was younger. My grandpa had one up at his house, and I'm pretty sure I saw turkeys in the middle of the night, and I could see their eyes, and I believe, yeah, and that was one of the easier ways to see. You could see, but it wasn't even that they were necessarily reflecting a ton of light, but it was enough like reflection of the moonlight or whatever was coming to their eyes that it was noticeably different than their feathers or their body.
Yeah, like a cat or like a dog. With their night vision, right?
So that's what I'm saying here, that it may be just because of it having some type of lights. It just reflecting any type of reflecting lights, because you can see all these little like particles like just like out and about around it.
It's almost like a strobe. It's not like
but you can see there's other sparkly things that have nothing to do with it that I would probably say is what's going on in the sense of why the triangle is reflecting. There's other things in the sky that are also reflecting.
Yeah, this one's actually really, really interesting. I mean, look at that. It's a perfect triangle shape. I don't think a plane can fly with that
Maybe
type
it's
of shape.
maybe it's Doritos and they created a Doritos 3D spaceship.
Oh my god!
Hit us
Remember
up
the
Doritos for
Doritos 3D?
sponsorship.
Remember the Doritos 3D?
I never actually
Those were
had
good.
them.
Those were good. So if you keep going, there's another video
Yeah, it'll start right now.
from a different Navy ship, looking out into the ocean, and there is an object that moves. So there's three of them, right?
So
There's three different ones because
this
the
one
one
almost
the one previous to this video,
uh-huh.
that object went down into the water, like it splashed down into the water.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know if it's going to show it in the next video, but I just wanted to point that out. And then the third one, the one you're showing.
So this one kind of looks like a blimp on its side, or maybe like a dreidel shape, or like because as it moves, you can kind of see like a bump on top, but it's a little bit more triangle-y at the bottom.
Yeah.
So, and it seems like it's tilting, or the camera itself is tilting.
Yeah, it seems like they're tracking it. It's like the plane is sideways. They're following it, and then again, it was the same thing. It was the thermal cam picks it up. The object is extremely hot, and everything around it is cold. You can see the cold air. You see that, Greg? See how white it is?
Uh-huh.
That's all heat. How is it emitting heat? And it doesn't seem to have a propulsion system.
You know what it kind of looks like right now? It kind of looks like a car. It looks a little bit like a car, but it's not driving how a car would. So look, the very front, almost like round right here, like there's a wheel here and almost roundish right here. And then you have the front of the car coming up, and then it comes back down and flattens out. And then you got a round part down here too.
So you're saying that this is what is that movie? What is that movie?
Like,
with the newer one, Ryan Gosling, but then there's a
I don't know.
There's an old one in the 80s too.
It's probably Elon's freaking roadster coming back to Earth.
Imagine.
Don't Elon's panic. In there. Elon's in there like, oh don't man, they saw me. I thought I could get away with this.
No,
but it kind of, I don't know. On the stream,
system.
It's hard to see, but on my TV, it almost looks like a car.
Yeah, I can see it.
So
I can see it a little bit. But there's no propulsion system. It means that there's no jet being emitted or any hot gas.
You're not seeing anything come out.
Very interesting. And for it to just outmaneuver an F-18 is insane. The F-18s are, those are top of the line.
Yep.
Yeah, so that's very interesting. There was another video. If you look it up, Phoenix Lights. Have you seen those?
Lights?
Yeah. It's a video where I forget. I think it was like 98 or 88, maybe 88 or 98. I forget. The infamous Phoenix Lights. They were up there for like 3 days or something like that.
So
nobody knew what that was.
Okay, this one is a little bit different now, only because we know about drones and we've seen this kind of thing happen. So like I want to say at the Super Bowl they've done it, where they just get a bunch of drones, they fly them up and they put the lights on and they form an image in the sky. Yeah. Someone actually did it. I want to say it was in China. They just flew a giant QR code in the sky, and you could actually scan it with your phone.
Shut up.
Yeah.
Can you pause this and show me that, because that's insane.
Sure. Let me find.
How much does it cost to do one of those for
probably millions.
For the top
probably millions.
Anyway, if you guys are new to this podcast, today we're talking about UFOs. In a little bit, we'll open the lines for the ether this is a hybrid podcast. This is the rabbit hole series, but we're also gonna do a little hybrid episode where you guys can call in. Let us know what you guys are thinking about these new UFO sightings. And if you have any info, any intel, any insider information you can share with us, we'll disclose the number in a few minutes. But for now, Greg, show me that QR code.
First, I want to show you the Phoenix thing,
Okay, so
and then we're
it's
going to
been
compare it
21
to what
years,
I'm
right?
talking about. So this one, the
98?
Phoenix, I think it was 2000, didn't it say?
No, it was like 98 or.
Oh, this
maybe
says
before any-
this says
before the internet.
video. It's been 21 years since mysterious lights hovered over Phoenix. 21 years, and that video was in 2018. So it was
Oh, like
before we were
98?
even born. Yeah.
88.
No, probably 88 or 89.
Wait, it was 20.
Whatever. It was 20.
98.
It
like
was
98.
pretty much 90. No, it was pretty much
97.
90 or 89. Who cares? Okay, it was back then. Far enough back.
Well, I want.
We don't need to
right.
keep
People
fighting
want-
about it.
What
if people want to know, they can look it up. So,
Oh my God, that's the worst.
no, it's not. We're gonna show them right now. Let's move on.
Some people are just listening.
Well, some people. All right.
Half a million
So,
people are listening.
here we
to
go.
this.
So this is the
One
Phoenix
of the
Lights.
Valley's biggest mysteries. Today marks 21 years since the Phoenix Lights appeared in the sky. And so, if you're just listening to this, it's like how many would you say? Like
1, 2, 3, 4,
10?
5, 6, 7.
about 10.
About 7.
Well,
Oh,
they were.
Did you
I mean,
just see like
the,
2 fly right
the
there?
accounts. No, the accounts were a lot. It was supposed to be like hundreds in formation. They were up there for 2 years. That was the original story.
What?
This is just some footage. Yeah, they were up there for like 2 days, like a week almost.
Oh, you said 2 years. That's
Did I
why I was
say 2
like, 2 years? How have I
no,
not
2 days.
really heard about
2
this that
days.
much?
They were up there for like a week or 2 days, something like that. And
Okay.
they were also very like transparent. Some
Mhm.
people claim that they saw like birds hitting the objects and falling. I don't know if you can find video of that.
Okay.
But this was a giant thing in Arizona. It was a giant thing. It wasn't like a small little, snippet of breaking news. No, this was like a whole like a week story, nonstop almost.
Okay.
But
All right. So now to compare the Phoenix experience to what we have as modern day technology that we're using here. So this is in Shanghai, and you see all those little drones right there. They
Whoa.
flew up to do
crap.
that, and you could scan it from the ground.
Oh my gosh, that's crazy.
And that's it. That
Yeah,
can easily have been what it was, but no one wanted to explain it because they would lose out on the opportunity of the business.
Right.
If other people were like, "Oh yeah, we could do that. Let's do it," they would lose out.
Insane. They did a QR code in the sky that people can actually scan. That's insane.
It's
But-
animated. It's literally they're doing like a little video up there.
Yeah, but dude, 24 years ago, who would have like we didn't have that type of drone. Like we didn't have these types of drones. We had drones that don't stop flying. They don't just hover above a
Yeah.
city for a couple of days.
I mean, how do you know it something was staying there for a couple days? It's just been at night, and they could have just replaced and went off in darkness.
I mean, why would they do that? Why would they do that if they didn't come out and say, "Hey, this was just a business stunt"? It
I
was
don't know. Maybe they were
all of
testing
it-
reactions of people.
No, dude. I mean, yeah, maybe.
We've done worse in history, like we've tested on human subjects forever. So why wouldn't they do that to see a reaction. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm
There
gonna
could be
take a look
many
at
different reasons. But like that's why the whole Phoenix Lights kind of concept to me isn't necessarily impressive or scary, you know?
Did
Like
you did you,
if there
have
were
you
just some
seen?
lights in the sky, I wouldn't be like, "Oh man, this is crazy. Something's going to happen." But like if they were moving and you could clearly see something that you have never seen before, that'd be a
Mhm.
whole different story.
What I'm saying is that there was a lot. There was a lot of them out there, and thousands of people saw them. It wasn't like, like one or there was a couple that looked like a meteor passing by or comet or whatever. It was
Eh,
a lot.
Maybe it was maybe it was a show of power in a military situation.
Yeah.
Who knows? Maybe there was something going down that we didn't know, and this was a way of preventing something bad from happening. Military wise, be like, hey, look, we can do this above our cities. We can do it above your city.
Yeah, maybe.
Who knows? All speculations.
Look at
This is
look at
not
all the
financial
lights.
advice. Is
No,
that of the
this is from the
Phoenix?
news too, but look at all the lights information. I mean, look at the quality of the camera. It's a camcorder, dude. It's like the first version of the camcorder. It
I
looks
mean,
like they're
those
just
don't
pointing
really.
it out.
That looks a little bit different. That almost kind of looks like a Milky Way or something. Like
Yeah. But
doesn't
this
look
is
as straight
actual
or form.
video of it's an actual video of somebody taking not the news, not the media, but actually somebody taking an actual video of the lights above Arizona, particularly in Phoenix.
What
And
if this stuff had to do with like? I mean, have we ever seen an ozone layer like breaking down or healing or anything like that? You know what I mean? We've never had experience of that. What if this is just something that's never happened
Well,
before? And
I'll
like,
tell you what. The first time that I saw one of the SpaceX rockets go into orbit, that was
Mhm.
crazy. I looked outside. I had no idea what was going on. I looked outside and it looked like like a supernova.
Yeah,
Right? It was insane.
I remember that because there was like
I think
ton of smoke in the
I think I
sky.
might have called you. I'm like, bro, what's going
Yeah,
on? What
yeah.
did I miss?
We
I'm
were
like,
out there yelling aliens.
the aliens are here. Yeah, I mean, yeah, dude, it's definitely, yeah, it's definitely very interesting. So that was the Phoenix Lights. Let's see. There was another video I wanted to show you.
I did see this interview. Oh, it wasn't an interview. Obama went on to a night show. What's his name? Corman or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
The guy who does the like singing in the car. I think he's a British guy.
I forget his
Uh,
name.
he had Obama on his show, and he asked one of the guys from his band if he had any questions, and he did, and he asked Obama about the UAPs and about aliens,
Mm-hmm.
and Obama comes back and he's like, well, the first thing I did when I entered the office is I asked where the lab was that had all the aliens, and he's like, they told me there wasn't one.
Yeah.
But then
So
he
that
also went
confirms
on
that there
to
is one.
he went on to say that there were some UAPs, things that they couldn't explain, um, of some kind of activity, of something happened. He was like, could have just been something natural, could have been anything. We couldn't explain it. And
Yeah.
then he asked another question directly about aliens, and Obama like clearly got all like flustered and upset about the question.
Like what?
And
What was the
and
question?
it wasn't anything intense. It was just more like Obama wasn't ready for the question, so he didn't have an answer ready.
Oh, so he just kind of caught him off guard.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So
So not that exciting.
Nah, it wasn't anything crazy. It's just interesting to see that he got caught off guard. But at the same time, when you're told things, like he obviously has knowledge of things that are happening or aren't happening or secrets in a sense that he can't talk about.
Yeah.
So it's not necessarily like he could come out and say, "Oh yeah, they're not aliens, they're this," but he's not allowed to talk about it, so he can't tell you that it's. He can say it's not aliens, but he can't explain why it's not aliens.
I
And
don't
to
know.
do so, he would go to prison for the rest of his life.
Well, yeah. Well, check this out. Let me show you this one, okay?
Uh-huh.
So this one is the same thing, but a witness actually went on here to talk about her experience, and these were the things during the day or something like that. No, at night, but they just inverted it. So this lady is talking about her. So 1997,
Mm-hmm.
they made a documentary called "We Are Not Alone: The Phoenix Lights," and as you can see, they've. I mean, look at them, dude. In formation, they look like the same thing that we saw on the other one.
I don't know. I feel like those look.
More,
Eh.
I mean,
I mean, they look
what
pill
kind of
shaped because they're
drone?
from
What
a
kind of drone
difference.
would
Yeah.
look like that? You know, what kind of drone would you look?
I guess it would have to be the main part of it would have to be pretty circular for from a distance to look pillish.
Yeah,
It's like even from a distance, you can see that a plane has something sticking out. A plane looks like a cross. The closer you get, it starts not looking like a cross.
yeah, I
So,
understand.
so that's kind of what I mean. Like the majority of whatever it is circular.
Yeah,
Closer you get, may have more definition. So I don't know. Maybe it was a stealth bomber, helicopter. But like something like that, like I don't necessarily think that would be aliens. Like in my opinion, it's kind of like the conspiracy theories about like going to the moon. Like some
Uh-huh.
people are like, we've never been to the moon. Some people are like, I think we've been to the moon, but when we were first told about it and the first landing that we recorded,
yeah.
people think that we didn't really land at that time, but we had been to the moon. And some people think we've been to the moon the whole time. So it's kind of like that going back to the aliens, where it's
I think
like
that's
those may not have been aliens, but I think maybe one of the other experiences may have been aliens. So some stuff is just
that's
is unexplainable. Others is unexplainable with aliens. You know what I'm talking about?
I mean, it's a lot.
It's like being scared in the dark. You hear,
I mean, you have to
hear
be
a
more-
noise. You hear a noise in the dark, and you think someone's in your house trying to murder you. Then you turn the light on, and you realize that your jacket just fell off of the coat hook.
Yeah, no, I understand what you're saying, but what I'm trying to, I guess I'm just what I'm trying to challenge is it's either so. What is the answer?
Yes.
So is it everything we've seen is fake, but they're real? I mean, the speculation, that's a rabbit hole I'm not willing to entertain, because the speculation, we can just speculate, well, I don't know, that's not real. But we're like these videos, it's a physical thing, whether it's an alien body in there or not, or maybe it's a drone, just like the way that we make drones that go to Mars, and now we're flying a helicopter, Greg. We're flying a helicopter from how far? How far is Mars to us? It's crazy. I mean, if they're so advanced, I don't understand why. Yeah, I think that they definitely, if they do exist, they definitely have the capacity to fly, drones. What it's their version of drones here in this, here in our Earth.
I'll put it this way, Margot. You were pretty much going to say you don't understand why they wouldn't share the technology with us, or they wouldn't want
No, I
us to
get what
know. It's the same thing. The same reason why we don't share our information with China or with Russia, or like if we can't share with our neighbors, why are we going to share with a different planet?
Yeah, no, that I know. That yeah, that's not what I meant. I meant like if there have been drones and we have recovered drones, I think that's a more likely um I guess that's a more likely scenario than them actually being down here observing us.
Hmm.
Like
Well, imagine.
we weren't like, "Oh, hey everybody, Mars is showing signs of water. How about we all band together as a race, the human race, and we create like a rocket between everyone that's gonna go and explore Mars, right?
Uh-huh.
We don't have that capacity because of tribalism, everything that you just mentioned.
Hmm.
But if they are more advanced than us, maybe they don't have the same bullshit that we have. You know, because everything that we have is it's definitely something that's been. I mean, it's evolving. Our everything is evolving. Our relationships are evolving. Nowadays, it's everything's on the internet. So it shows that we've been evolving. However, our brain has not been evolving as fast, and so yeah, I think that there's just a lot of there's still a lot of obstacles we need to overcome before we can work together.
Yeah,
Have you seen the movie The Fourth Kind?
I don't think
Oh my
so.
god. Whew. I mean, there are some movies out there that are insane.
No, I have not seen it.
Man, I'm trying to remember what I went down a rabbit hole a long time ago. It was basically it was a man who got abducted by aliens, he claimed. You know, he started becoming very paranoid. He started becoming a little schizophrenic. And at one point, he you know, the police is called like a few times. He's always acting violent. They can't de-escalate the situation. The guy is holding his kid or like his wife or something like that, and he's saying, you know, they're gonna get us. They're gonna get us. I don't want to go. They're gonna get us. And you know what he does? He shoots himself because he was so traumatized over this experience, whether it was real or was not real. He was so traumatized about an experience that he had, you know, gone through, and it was just crazy. And I think it was like in the middle of nowhere. I think it was like Oregon or something like that,
Okay.
Washington, somewhere like that, small town, and they there was a lot of accounts where the same town were having experiences that they felt like something was coming in at night, and they would fall, you know, like drowsy and fall asleep or something like that. And the one thing they always remembered was an owl. They remember an owl outside of their window, either
The Illuminati.
hooing or booing. I don't know how you fucking say it.
Hmm.
They were it was either booing or just perched outside of the window, and that's the only thing they remember. It looked like an owl, and then it would come in at night, take them, or you know, run all some sort of like tests on the subjects, and then the next day they would have a faint memory of this experience. That movie was freaking crazy because uh imagine that, dude. It's like it was a small town. Not everybody knew each other. Like it was like a small town. People were very like, oh no, like look at me. Like this happened to me. They weren't like that. They were very they seemed perturbed.
Yeah.
They seemed like something actually happened to them. But also there was on the fourth kind, I think maybe it's the same one. There was a girl, um, the lady. towards the end, like she started to have like started levitating, and I mean it was just crazy shit, dude. I don't know
Mhm.
if it's all real or not, but it was crazy and it was
Okay.
scary. I'm not gonna. They have like the actual audio of the 911 call. I don't know if we can play that here. Can we play that here? Do you think?
Probably
It's
not.
actual audio of the phone call. Maybe we can do like closed captions. Um, Let me see if I can find it. Fourth
This is
kind.
just from a movie. You're talking about the movie was
It was a
based off of
documentary.
someone's life.
It was a documentary um, over this person who had multiple quote unquote um,
Experiences.
experiences with aliens. Let me see. The fourth kind 911 call. And holy crap, the lady looks bad. Like she looks bad. Like I'm just gonna show you
We can
the
show stills.
yeah. I think let me pull that up really quick. So let me go to fourth kind owls and fuck, dude. I don't know, man. This is crazy. I can show this. I think so. If you're just listening to the stream now, thank you for joining us. Don't forget to subscribe, and like our video, leave a comment. But right now we're showing you some of the stills of the fourth kind. But you see this lady, and I
Is
know
that the actual lady that it's
it's
based off of?
yeah, it's this is the actual lady.
Okay.
This is the actual lady. So they were all seeing the barn owl, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then this is the actual lady who was going. She was interviewed by Chapman University, and she was. This is this is what she looked like. Like she looks like she's been through some shit. And this is the actress. That's different. But this video, I mean, it's crazy, dude. You have to watch it. I wish we can do like maybe we can do like a watch party.
I did see on
Greg,
Twitch. On Twitch, we could
yeah,
do a watch party. I haven't seen anything on YouTube being able
no.
to do that. Nah.
So look, this is what they claimed it would look like. That it looks like an owl with big eyes, black eyes, and they said it was an owl. But look, this is an actual. I think this is an actual video of the lady going through some shit.
Okay.
And if you can't see, if you're only listening to the podcast, it's this lady that she was recounting her experience through hypnosis. So she was hypnotized, and what do you call that, Greg? When you are walked through an experience when under hypnosis, I forget what it's called.
Uh,
Hypnosis, like recall, something like that. Something like
I
that.
don't know.
I forget what it's called, but it's definitely insane. Um, this one actually put some goosebumps on my skin, man. This one was rough to watch.
Dee-dee-dee-dee-dee-dee-dee.
Yeah, dude, this one was really rough, man. I don't know. I'm not gonna lie, dude. I like scary movies. That one was a little rough to watch. It was too real.
Hmm.
So that one was very interesting. But yeah, dude, that guy. I mean, I couldn't imagine the desperation that you would have and the stress that you'd be under, to put somebody in your family in danger and then take your own life. That's definitely something that's very unfortunate.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
anyway, so why don't we take I don't know if we have some more stuff coming, Greg, on your end, but I'm gonna open up the lines to the podcast. If you're listening now, you're joining us. Today is Wednesday, June 2nd. Yesterday we had the information released onto Congress. I think Congress is reviewing said information, and we should have some reports, Greg said, by Friday.
Yeah.
But if you have any, input, we would like for you to call in now at 657-223-5323. Number is 657-223-5323. Have you had any experiences with UFOs? Have you been abducted? Have you seen star people like our podcast friend Marianne, who we had in one of the last podcasts? Have you seen anything abnormal in the skies recently? What do you think about all these new sightings being disclosed to the public? Do you think that they're actually doing good for us, or is it just another distraction? And then while we wait for someone, I want Greg to see if he can queue up some stuff from interdimensional aliens. Some of the theories that we've seen around floating around the web. There's also some. Let's see. There's also some. Not in. Oh, the reptilians, Greg. I think we
Uh-huh.
did a little bit on that last podcast, but there have been some videos showing some shapeshifters, quote unquote, or AKA reptilians caught on camera. So we can cue that up, and maybe we'll take a call or two, and then we'll go from there. But this is definitely getting interesting. This rabbit hole is we don't know where it's going to lead us. We do rabbit hole um, at least once a month. The topics are very, very complex sometimes, so it takes a lot to unpack. But also, if you're interested, every week we do an Ether podcast where we just take live calls. We get to know people's stories. Our mission here at Thought Process Podcast is to help people understand people. Whether it's in fear, love, um, humor, comedy, whatever. We just want to know how people are out there, what subjects are of interest, and that's what the comments are here for. You can follow us on our Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram at TPP is loading. Our handle is on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook again is TPP is loading. We're working on some merch for the podcast. If you want to support us, right now we're not asking for any donations, anything like that. All we're asking for is some sort of likes, comments, um, you know, some sort of feedback so we can continue improving this podcast for you guys. Um, yeah, I guess we'll keep the lines open. Do you have anything going on, Greg?
No, I can't really find any of the stuff you said outside of just people talking about it. There's no videos that we could see.
So, are there any like articles of interdimensional aliens or here? Let me see.
I didn't really have. I was just looking on YouTube for videos, so I didn't really look at that. I mean, something here that says this declassified FBI document beings from other dimensions visit Earth regularly. I mean, if you think about that, the Bible thinks there's angels and demons and heaven and hell. We would consider that alternate dimension in a sense.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, is that really just saying that God exists and angels and demons exist, or is it this is something
maybe.
different?
Maybe, or where we got it could be vice versa, right? It could be that's actual where God comes from and where aliens and demons come from, or that's where we've been experiencing these things throughout our existence, and so we made up a story to fit the narrative. I mean, it could be both.
Yeah.
I think that in this case, I like to leave the door open. I'm comfortable. Well, I'm comfortable more with one than the other. I don't know. I don't know if I'm the biggest fan of interdimensional aliens because I mean, what in the hell, right? Like they just come out of thin air from a parallel universe, or how does that even work, right?
Yeah,
Um,
that's sure.
let's see. So let me see here. I'm gonna search something up really quick. So recently, um, what let's see. Let me see. So we've also had some. Let me see. We've had some subjects here. All right, one. I guess I'm gonna save this for now. Let me answer this.
Okay.
From a parallel universe, or
Hello.
what's up?
Hey, what's going on?
Going on, guys?
Welcome.
What's going on? Yeah, I don't think we're gonna have here Greg.
What's
This
up?
sounds like
Every time somebody calls, he gets put into a timeout.
the alien silence me.
Oh no.
Yeah. So what's up?
Oh,
Do you
man.
have your tinfoil hat on? Do you know what's going on? Have you seen anything suspicious lately? What do you think about all these aliens? Give us your take.
You know what? I'm excited. I'm excited. If there is aliens and we make an encounter, it'll be interesting. It'll be very very interesting.
What do you
because
find interesting?
huh?
What do you find interesting?
The fact that there's life in other planets, in other worlds.
Uh-huh. Now,
That
so are you a fan of the other like of other worlds or of aliens? Are you a fan, or is this something that you've kind of grown up with? Have you had any
I mean,
experiences or
well, no experiences at all. But yeah, definitely something that I think we've all grown up with. Um,
Mhm.
but in terms of being a fan or not, I don't really put much thought into it unless it's like you were saying earlier, they land and they make contact, and then that'll be the story. But for now, it's more like just stories online, what we hear on social media and things like that. So at this point, it's like there's so much information out there that we don't even know what is real and what is not.
so yeah, I mean information overload, right? We have so
Exactly.
much
Yeah. Yeah.
information
So
out there. Uh-huh.
the government's been throwing out disclosures here and there, but no, everybody's so busy with the pandemic or other events that it's like whatever.
Do you,
And
uh-huh.
are they doing that on purpose? I don't know.
Do you think that
I
they're
don't know.
using like other subjects to distract us from the truth?
Maybe, of course, anything could happen, especially here in this
Now,
world.
now growing up, did you ever I think I remember you from last week. Um, do you remember from where you grew up, any abnormal, like what did you grow up with? Like, do you know about like,
Man, I grew up with a Llorona.
well,
The only alien that existed.
yeah. Well, I'm familiar with that too. But see, back then, because I'm from Mexico, right?
Yeah.
We used to call them omnis, and they
Yeah,
were
there you
always
go.
like a ball, like a white ball, like a shaped spacecraft, just hovering
Hmm.
above the skies. I never saw
Yeah,
one, but I clearly remember that was instilled in my mind in Mexico.
that's crazy. Yeah, we've all grown up with it.
Yeah.
That's what's crazy. That's what's crazy about it is like we still have no answers, to those questions.
So okay, so do you think what's more likely in your opinion? So first of
Uh
all,
huh.
I you're a believer, or would you are you a
Yeah,
believer,
of course,
or
of
like
course.
what side of the
I
fence
believe
are
in
you on?
God.
You believe in
Huh?
aliens?
What was that? Sorry.
What side of the fence are you on? Do you believe in aliens, yes or no?
I don't know, man. I still haven't. I don't know. I don't know if I believe or not. I don't know. It's like I said, it's like if we see them here, then yeah, you know. But at the same time, I mean, anything could happen. So that's why I'm
Mhm.
excited because it's like you never know. You know, you never know when the day's gonna come or any, you know, when aliens will show up. You know, you never know. So, but the
If
stories
if
are out there. You
if they
know,
were to show up tomorrow, would you receive them with open arms?
What if
You
they
know,
don't have arms?
of course, under the circumstance that they
they
come in
don't
peace.
fucking come down and start bombing.
Imagine that. Have you?
No, I mean, I don't know. To be honest, I don't know. I mean, I wouldn't be the first one there at
Yeah.
the scene. You know, I would watch it from afar just to make sure everything's all right. And then after that, I mean, you know, it's just, well, you know, we have a lot of questions. You know, a lot of
Mhm.
questions, and what gets me excited is space and what's out there. So, I mean, in a sense, you know, is there a chance of life somewhere else? I mean, the universe is so big, you know.
Yeah.
They can't be. And if they get to us and the technology they have is, of course, more advanced, so that would be another question, you know. It's like, well, how do you guys live? Or what is this, you know?
Yeah.
What is this world we're in, you know, that we can't, as human beings, we can't, it's hard for us to get out of, you know? It's like we're trapped here
Yeah. But I
and
mean,
we're barely trying to like
we're
escape,
literally
so
in a
it'd be
box,
crazy.
right?
Yeah. Yeah. So it's like, all we could see, you know, as humans is the sky, unless you're an astronaut and you're going out there. But other than that, I mean, that's all we see, you know, through a lens.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. No,
but
this is. I mean, this is the question of the century, right?
yeah,
Oh.
definitely.
Um. I don't know if you're watching the stream, but I'm gonna show you. I want your
Yeah.
opinion on this. Okay. I
Let
want to
me
know
see.
what you think about this footage here. Let me just skip do the hate ads. Check this out. So there is a plane, right? That
Yeah.
shows an object appearing above the agency that comes directly above the just it came out of what like from the clouds, and then it has like a huge trail behind it like this. Greg, what do you think this is? Do you think this is like a rocket?
Kind
This
of
is more
looks,
likely to be a rocket, right?
yeah, kind of looks like Tesla's launch. If you had just seen it, how
Mhm.
it shoots up and then it comes down like this and then lands uh back on the
But
ground.
the
It
agency,
kind of
like
looks like that.
where is that?
Damn, that's crazy.
That's crazy, right? It,
Wow. Well, there you go. What is that, right? I mean,
Sky
yeah, that's
whales.
definitely something that
damn, that's
will
crazy.
that's interesting
But
out
you
there.
know, but you know what I always do? I'm always looking up in the sky in case
Yeah.
I see something. You know,
And have you?
I've seen
Nothing.
I've seen a lot of like shooting stars and crazy, but not nothing like out of this world, like alien. You know, nothing
Mhm.
like that.
You know, something that a lot of people have, I'm sure that a lot of people have mistaken they've mistaken the um, what do you call it? The satellites for UFOs. There has always been a lot of satellites that have been confused with UFOs. I don't know if you've ever been in the mountains, but when you look up, you often see what seems to be like a comet, but it actually
Mm-hmm.
has no tail, and occasionally it reflects light, and so yeah, people think, oh, look, it's a UFO, but it's just one of the Starlink satellites that we have just launched
Yeah.
into orbit. Yeah, I mean it's definitely really interesting.
It is.
Do you
It is.
know
It is.
anybody or have talked to anybody who have had any experiences with this?
Not really. No,
No.
no. I mean, everybody. I'm just everybody just tells me what they see on YouTube or whatever, but
What
nothing live.
what about so
I want to though. That'd be cool.
that'd be cool.
Yeah, as I smoke a joint, just going to the
Uh,
moon.
oh, I'm surprised you haven't seen aliens yet.
But it's definitely an interesting topic. Definitely, it's definitely always around the thought of aliens and when are they coming if they are real and stuff.
Mhm.
But I don't know. You think it would bring the world in chaos, or it bring the world together as like one and figure out what?
Yeah, I definitely think it can do both. If it's not released properly, if they don't prime us, I think that it's definitely both. It could be both
Mm,
things can happen. You don't know.
man,
Here,
that's
where,
insane.
Greg? I don't know if I mean, after this call, maybe we can pull it up. But yeah,
Yeah.
okay. So no aliens. Well, what now that we have you on the phone? Have you experienced anything out of the ordinary? Maybe paranormal that maybe back then you would think that it was more of it was like a ghost or something, but it actually, maybe with some either like I don't know, some I don't know. I guess speaking with experts, maybe it was actually an
Something
alien.
like some paranormal activity.
Yeah.
Mm, and not that I can remember, honestly.
Man, Greg, we can't
No,
crack this
nothing.
guy.
He's not a believer.
Oh, man, no. I'm trying to think. I mean, I've heard like, man, I didn't see that, but that's the thing. Like, I don't know whether it's just my imagination or is it something real. Especially like after like a movie or something, where like scary movie or something, and you're just thinking something happens, and right away, your mind goes to like, wow, something.
I think you need to do some homework.
Yeah,
If you
yeah,
can, watch The Fourth Kind. If you have
I
a
will.
buddy with you, watch it with the buddy. I don't recommend you smoke because you will be freaked the fuck out. Definitely, pick it up with the buddy or something. Watch it. Go to the moon and
Definitely.
and take a look and let me know what you think about it. Maybe next week you can come back and tell us, whether if you're a believer. I think Greg and I might host a watch party on Twitch or something where people can join us live as we watch the movie.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll coordinate that, but it's definitely one to watch. I don't know if it'll
Okay.
change your mind for the better or change your mind for the worse. So,
All right. I'll
but
definitely watch it.
but yeah, well, thank you for calling.
No,
I wish we would have had a
thank you
story
guys.
for you to share with us, but no problem. Maybe
I know,
maybe
man.
next
I'm
time.
just always on the last minute. I jump in just trying to say
No, we
hello and then
appreciate it. We
whatever. Try
appreciate
to,
support. There's a lot of people on here that watch us, that listen to us, but for whatever reason, they still don't call. So,
yeah.
but anyway, thank you so much for calling, and we'll talk to you next week, maybe.
All right, guys. Yeah,
All right.
definitely. I'll tune in. We'll talk.
Thank you.
Stay safe.
All right,
Have
you
a good
too.
one.
Bye.
Bye.
We could not crack
so-
this guy, Greg.
So
What are we
something
gonna
you
do?
were saying about the callers, they got FUD on their side, dude. Fear, uncertainty, and doubt about calling in.
Yeah, I know, man.
Well,
I
some
don't know.
people just don't believe because there's nothing in front of them to say, okay, I see it, I can believe it.
Yeah,
So it's either you're skeptical or you believe it or you don't. Because, I mean, there's plenty of things Like, there is not, you can't see gravity. So you're just taking it up on the explanation that it's correct. And I
Yeah,
believe that it's correct based off of the definition of what's going
Mm-hmm.
around. But I don't have a way to be like, oh, look, I see gravity. So
right, but like, okay, so what about air? We can't see it, but we often see the leaves of a tree whistling in you know in a breeze, or you see leaves or debris being picked up by a force unbeknownst to us, right? Which we call air or whatever. So there's definitely a lot of stuff like that we don't see. We probably take things for granted. It's the thing is that it's our definition of what we see, because we're still apes. We've been hodling for too much and for too long. We've eaten way too many crayons.
we just need to get back to the moon.
We're trying to get back to the moon.
Back to our people on the moon.
You know,
We left some people there. It's time to go back.
yeah.
Bring our 8 brothers home.
All right.
Harambe, we're coming for you.
Definitely. So I wanted to show you these couple of clips, Greg. This one is it's also, let's see here. They caught a mysterious close encounter. So the last
That's
this
that's
is
not
the
NASA, is it? Oh yeah,
Yeah,
NASA
SpaceX.
sent people up, but
Yeah.
Tesla, SpaceX had helped them
Mhm, correct.
with some of their technology.
So
Yeah.
here, did you see that? So if you're
Something flew
listening
by.
to this, so this is actually would you say that this is the second or third?
Oh,
You'd say this is the second or third phase where the booster is. So basically, the booster and the capsule are detached from each other.
Mhm.
And while it's detaching, there is an object that comes, I would say, actually pretty slow, right? It's actually pretty slow.
Well, it looks slow, but I'm sure that it was traveling pretty damn fast. It's faster than whatever just came off the ship.
Yeah. I mean, we're in space, right? So this
Yeah.
is in space. So that's definitely something that would catch an eye here. And it's just so funny. Like, what would have happened? Like, imagine, Greg, what would have happened if this object or the capsule wasn't detached yet?
It probably
Oh,
would have ripped right through that thing.
That's probably really scary, huh? Imagine to see
Yeah.
that in your rearview mirror, like, holy crap, we just missed that.
Yeah, it's just like the other
I never
the other
thought
week
about
when
that
you were
until
talking about
today.
that car
Dude,
that drove
that
right,
is
right up to you.
crazy. I mean, look at it. Like, it's traveling at a pretty good speed. It would have just
Yeah.
gone through the ship. Look at that.
Yeah, it would have ripped
A
through his
lot of
back
people
and
say
probably
that it was one of the other. What do they call it? Like a fairing or something?
something else on the ship that
Yeah.
blew the wrong way or something.
By the way, what do you think of the new spacesuits?
I don't know, they look kind of funky. They look funky, but they're not there to look cool. They're there so that you don't die.
Yeah. No, okay, yeah. So that one's definitely an interesting one to take a look at. I have another one here that I'm about to show you guys. This one is actually from 2019. It's a submarine, Navy submarine, U.S. submarine that caught about 14 objects swarming it from all directions, and nobody could tell what it was. They just appeared out of nowhere. One of the sailors, I guess, is just kind of saying how fast they're going. I mean, what's 138 knots compared to miles per hour, Greg? Just for
Let me look. 2 miles per hour. All right. So how many knots did you say?
138 knots. I don't know what the conversion is.
That's 158 miles per hour.
That could be like a plane, right? Planes or
Actually, no.
drones? You think drones can fly that
Let me
fast?
see. How fast does a jet go? Let's see.
And you know what? This is sonar, not radar.
So
This
one of
is
the top
sonar.
jets, the fastest they go is 1,300 miles per hour. One of the slower ones that it shows went 864 miles per hour. So that's essentially slow for an airplane, which may also be another indicator of, hey, this thing is flying, but it's also flying super slow.
And then out of nowhere, two of them just disappear, just gone. So that one's definitely interesting. I just wanted to share that one with you.
Okay.
And then on a bright side, I know we've been talking um, a lot about NFTs here, with the NFT space. There has been it's a single frame from an alien autopsy film recorded in the aftermath of the 1947 UFO crash. Have you seen that, Greg?
No.
So they made an NFT from the Roswell crash worth opening bid of $1 million for a single frame of that video. So Roswell, New Mexico. So right here it says the 16 millimeter film reputedly shows the aftermath of the supposed UFO crash at the Roswell, New Mexico, with a humanoid figure on an operating table. The 17-minute long film shows the figure with a massive wound on its right leg, large eyes and skull, and several different individuals walking around the figure wearing white suits. And this is that picture here. Dude, what do you think, Greg? Do you think that
Yeah, I don't know.
so back then there's I can't really let's see let's see what this um newspaper says. So Roswell Daily, this is in New Mexico. The RAAF captures flying saucer on ranch in Roswell region. But also, let's see what other headlines were passed with this, because, like Greg said, it could, or like the other caller said, it could just be a distraction. Maybe this was a distraction, showing something else. Let's see. Some of Soviet satellites may attend Paris meeting. Okay. Roswellians have differing opinions on flying saucers. Okay, so this was definitely a controversial subject. Movies as usual. Okay. Greg, is this starting to sound a little familiar to these times?
AMC to the moon?
Claims army is stacking court martial. Okay. House passes tax slash by large margin. Security Council paves way to talks on arms reductions. No details of flying disc are revealed. Miners and operators sign highest wage pact in history.
Bro.
Greg, do we really not know
Miners?
history?
Crypto
The
miners?
are now just crypto miners.
There's no tax slashes, but there's tax increases.
Are revealed means that these people, although the information is coming out into the public, nothing's going to be revealed. That's just my projection. Security Council paves way to talks on arms reductions. I mean, I think this was about a year ago, right? That we were talking about getting everybody out of the Middle East.
Yeah.
House passes tax slash by large margin. This happened 2020. in 2019. Claims army is stacking courts martial. I think this happened, but it was actually um, something about like with judges, no? Something like with appointing judges.
Yeah, those aren't the same thing
I
though.
forget what it's called.
You're talking about stacking the court.
Movies as usual. So AMC to the effing moon. What? Some of Soviet satellites may attend Paris meeting. I mean, dude,
The Paris
you
Accord, we
cannot-
just got put back in it.
you cannot make this up, Greg.
Yeah.
It's crazy. It's crazy that we just out of nowhere we just saw this. So okay, so there's a few different pictures. The first one is a being. I mean, if you look at its legs, Greg, you can kind of see in its body. You can kind of see veins. That's actually just the only interesting fact I can see. Its
Yeah.
arm is definitely wounded. Look at the hand.
Looks like it's taken off.
Yeah, big eyes. I guess they're black eyes, right?
Uh,
Big head, small chin, almost no ear. So there's a map of where Roswell, New Mexico, between Arizona and Texas. I mean, Arizona, the Phoenix Lights next door. That weird newspaper that weirdly resembles the Times of today, and an Air Force. I don't know if this is Air Force.
It's the Air Force making their tinfoil hats.
No, this is supposedly the cover story, which is they supposedly found a weather balloon. That was the crash, and they ripped it up to make it seem like it crashed. And people are like, "No, this is BS." It says the Air Force report regarding the event states that debris were pieces from a Project Mogul's balloons, sensors, and radar reflectors made of thin metal. Pictured is Marcel with the debris. I don't know about this, but
what's the debris inside of a house?
Yeah. the funny thing is that this still is from the controversial 1947 Roswell alien autopsy has become an NFT, starting at no more than 450 Ethereums or $1 million bid. I mean, if aliens were real, I wonder what they would think of their own being sold as a non-fungible token.
Right? That would.
I mean, this could potentially be the reason why we get into a war with them.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
what if he's naked? I mean, come on, man. Taking naked pictures of aliens?
Come on, man. Yeah. So, do you have any further things on today's rabbit hole, Greg?
No, I don't have anything at the ready.
I think we're going to wait until all the information is laid out. Maybe we'll do our research with it. Maybe we'll prep a call with Marianne. I really want to learn a little bit more about the star people who she encountered when she was little. And maybe we will have some more information about all these new, UFO. What are they called? UAFs or whatever?
UAP.
Or UAPs in the future. We'll see what the government allows us to view, and we'll go from there. Thank you for our caller today. I think it was, even though they didn't eat enough crayons for the podcast, they definitely brought some good insights. They seemed very happy about the possibilities of aliens. And that concludes today's podcast. Thank you everybody for joining us. This is the Rabbit Hole series. Follow us on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram at TPP is loading. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the video. It will help us reach a wider audience and perhaps a more interesting community who may also have some insights and feedback on the subjects that we like to touch on. And we will see you guys next week.
Enjoy the weekend, guys and
The
girls. Yeah, the
Enjoy.
weekend is in 2 days.
Oh man! All right. So we'll talk to you guys next week.